My nostalgia.
Hello guys, welcome back to another My Nostalgia episode, and I'm going to review, or not review, but I'm just going to say, have you ever watched Brum? If you haven't, well, that's unlucky, but so this show isn't the best show ever, but it kind of get me an impact because most of the time you probably heard of these sort of shows before. But this is also one of the shows that are quite creepy and quite disturbing, but not in a not in a sort of horrible way or scary way. It's just a little bit disturbing. So I'm gonna put it to the disturbing kid show list as well. So what you're going to see here today is Brum, and if you don't know what Brum is, Brum or Brum or whatever you pronounce it, is a little tiny car, yellow car, that saves the day. And it sounds all whoopie-doo and happy and jolly stuff, but when you watch the program, some episodes are a little bit weird and bizarre, and some are just creepy. Sometimes it's disturbing, but so I wanted to do this episode probably in season 1 in 2021 or season 2 in 2022, but this is 2023, season 3 of My Nostalgia. So I have to review it sometime, why not this season? So this is Brum or Brum or whatever so I want to say this. I mainly watched every single episode when I was a kid and on DVD. But I went to the store once and I really enjoyed Brum so much I bought those little tiny Brum cars as well. It's weird. So you probably know Brum as a kid. You probably knew Brum by probably Rosie and Jim and Brum, or those sort of not anime, but animated cartoony sort of Brum videos you see on YouTube. But what I grew up with the actual Brum, the disturbing, silly, rubbish version, is not rubbish, but I didn't really find it that good, and it gave me an impact obviously, but not good than other kid shows that I watched at the time. So it's similar to other silly slapstick, it's not fair, you can see what's going to happen sort of shows, but this one's alright, but still disturbing. So yeah, this is another episode of rememberable disturbing kid shows from the early 2000s or something. Even though it is 90s, I don't really know anymore. So let's get into it. So, this is Brum, a little tiny yellow car that saves the day, and these weird people tries to steal things, nick things, probably does something weird to the other community in the town of Brum or any city of Brum or whatever. And I like how every single character that is the good guys. Every single good guy sort of character has this sort of hello, I'm this character, I'm for example, the pilot when the plane went off and the bad guy was on the plane, or probably, I don't know, but seriously, why is some good good characters have to go like, hello, I'm this, and I do this for some reason. I shake my hand, and I wave. Ooh. Seriously, who does that? This is not rocket science. You can say, hi, I'm the pilot, and I do this, but they cannot speak. It's like Mr. Bean, they cannot speak. Don't know why, they just can't. That's weird. I wouldn't go to that place if people are not talking. I like it how in the show they have this all weird child narrator, like, and sometimes there's adult narrators in the episodes, but the ones I grew up with, probably season 13 or something, not season 13, there was only like 2 seasons, probably 3 or 4 seasons, I'm not sure, but I mean, like, oh my god, this is so weird, because I mean, like, I grew up with other kid shows similar to this, but they're more realistic. This is bizarre. I don't know how you can describe it. It's just bizarre. Like, so you ever grew up with Brum, and your children have grew up with Brum? Well, or Brum, or Brum, or whatever you pronounce this car. Seriously, I think you're missing out. Who has grandchildren or children as the age of 20 now or something like that, that grew up with their children or grandchildren who watches Brum. But I wasn't in the 90s. I mean, like, I'm one of those people who are 2000s wee lad who watches 90s and 80s, probably 70s kid shows when they were a child. And one of them's me, so you know. So I do really like Brum, and I like how nostalgic it is looking at this intro, like the BBC intro, this intro. And this sort of weird intro with the red ball in the middle. Tell you what, there was other kid shows at the time, like, I can't remember what it was called, but there was other kid shows who had that sort of production logo. Nostalgic as well. And I do also like 2 Entertainment. If you heard of Shaun of the Sheep on DVD or whatever, you see 2 Entertainment. So yeah, I do like those logos, I can't speak, logos, because I bought something for Christmas the other day, and it was an old show from the BBC, and they had a new BBC intro, because we grew up with the sort of wavy, colory one with the just called BBC. Yeah, it's complicated. I'll probably do like a like nostalgic BBC intros or whatever, but this is what I grew up with. This one. Yeah, that one, baby. Anyway, so I do rather like Brum. I like how silly and funny it is, but not silly like, oh, I know what's gonna happen, or please don't do it, please don't do it. I hate that sort of sense of humour. Well, not sense of humour, but I don't like it. But I do like the sort of like, oh, I'm standing on the table because there's some kind of weird monster, or even though it's just a wig. It's weird. One of the episodes anyway. I do like Brum as a kid, or Brum, or whatever you pronounce it, But yeah, you could just watch your BBC iPlayer nowadays. Yeah. In the future, it's probably gonna be somewhere else. But I mean, like, at the moment, you can watch on BBC iPlayer for your heart content, children. But 20-year-old people, like, well, I'm not 20 yet, but 20 something year olds grew up with the actual Brum, and I grew up with the actual Brum, but in the 2000s. I mean, like, so that's all I got, really. So I mean, like, it's so funny as a kid, and it's kind of funny now, but also nostalgic and silly. Really, really silly, like, you can't stand it, but I don't know what to say, because there's different sort of Brums. You see the blue logo Brum, there's that classic Brum, here we come, or superhero, blah 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 blah, Brum Brum, here we come, or something like that. That was the outro music. Something like, you can't hear that, ladies and gentlemen. There's some kind of airplane or plane or helicopter in the background. Sorry for that, guys. But I'm like, anyway, that's all I got. I haven't got the car anymore, the toy car. I haven't got the other one, the box set of Brum. Well, not the box set, but half of the box set, because sometimes you see half of a DVD collection or something like that, just like Mr. Bean for some people. But anyway, what did you think? If you watched Brum as a kid, did you like it, hate it, meh, whatever? And I'll see you all next time. I know it's not the best episode of my nostalgia from season 3 onwards, but I mean, like, I don't know. Sorry. I just want to put it out of my misery for like 2 years so far, or maybe 3 years, thinking about what can I say about Brum. And do you know how disturbing it is? Because even though you see Herbie, or Bumblebee, or probably Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, those other flying sort of cars that do or drive all by their own is fine, but when it's a kid show with actual eyes who stare into your soul sort of thing, that's why I put it as this disturbing kid show character or whatever. And I'm not even making it up about that, because Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is just a car, a flying car. Bumblebee car is just a normal car with no driver in it, or if there is a driver, it doesn't do anything. Or other shows like that, or films, they do it for fun, and it's sort of like a big joke and a family sort of thing. But with Brum, eyes that stare into your soul, or behind your soul, or onwards, there's something wrong with you, whoever made Brum. I don't know. Maybe the inventor or the cleaner that you see in every single intro, who opens the door and then Brum comes out to the, garage or whatever it's called, or car shop or whatever. There's something wrong with you, Mr. Old Man, and I do not want to know. It's just like Pinocchio. The old man made Pinocchio, and this old man probably made Brum. But it's alive! It's alive! Anyway. So that's all I got for Brum, and I do love this kid show. Not anymore, because I know that I watched other kid shows I watched as a kid, and I still like them up to this day, but this one, not anymore, because it's too silly. And I watched other adult shows that do the same sort of thing with, like, oh, we know what's going to happen, or we hate it sort of thing. And that's why, something like, and it's just too slapsticky. I do like other slapstick shows, but do it properly, like Abbott and Costello, or probably Love and Hardy, or other shows like that. But with Brum, really. Anyway, I'll see you all next time, and hopefully you have a good day, or morning, or afternoon, or whatever you're watching this video. And bye.
Was back on our screens. Well, YouTube screens, that is, in a fully CGI animated series that purely focuses on the pre-3-year-old market. Brum was for us at a specific time in our lives, and we enjoyed and still continue to enjoy that era for that reason. Rewatching old episodes takes us right back to a time when we were excited to see what Brum would get up to next. If a CGI preschool show is what Brum is now, well hey, that's better than nothing at all. I hope Brum does make a triumphant return to TV in live action form one day. As with many existing TV franchises, with the right attention and approach for a modern audience, I'm sure it could be a massive success just as it initially was 25.
Way to go, Brum.